Welcome back to our home.
What are we doing today, bud?
We're doing some more school.
Yeah.
Because it's Tuesday.
It's Tuesday. That's right. Are you gonna?
And tomorrow it's supposed to be a little bit stormy. It's maybe supposed to be stormy. It's maybe going to be a little bit stormy on Wednesday tomorrow.
Yep.
I have a new Thomas, which is 75th anniversary Thomas.
You got that for Christmas, didn't you?
Yeah.
Okay, are you gonna set the schedule for today?
Yep.
What'd you do for the day?
I did breakfast, Bible, and then I did morning journals, like math, and then
Language arts.
Yeah, language.
Yes. We're gonna do some more phonics today, aren't we? Yeah. Awesome. Good schedule. Time for breakfast. Just in case you're new here, I am Maryann, and I'm a wife and mom of 2. We homeschool, and we also run a small homestead in Nova Scotia, Canada. So stick around if you like homeschool and homesteading content, because that's what we're all about. Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to our home. You saw a little intro from Bennett there a second ago. Here he is. We're just doing morning journals. Go back and do your morning journal, sweetie. We're doing morning journals now, and then we're going to have a break that was set by Bennett, the schedule, and then math and language arts. We are supposed to get a storm tomorrow. The weather, like, we joke, like, and no offense if any of you guys, if any of you are meteorologists, but it seems like that's the one job where you can always be wrong and never lose your job. Because, like, the weather here is never right. Whatever they forecast usually doesn't happen. They forecasted a big storm a few days ago, and there was literally, like, not a single flurry. Anyway, we're forecasting high winds and snow and then rain tomorrow. So it's going to be kind of a nasty day. So I do need to scoot over to the grocery store today just to get a couple things.
And some more apples.
Some more apples. Yep. And, yeah, so we're just going to finish school this morning. I need to get some laundry done, and we'll just see what else the day has in store.
This page is my favorite.
Yeah. What do you like about that page?
Yes, this.
Your drawing. Is that what you mean? You like your drawing?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do too. It's really, really good.
Okay. You're going haywire over there.
We're on break right now, and I don't know if any of you that are homeschool moms ever feel this way. You probably do, because it's pretty common. Just feeling like, am I doing enough with these kids? It's like some days I feel like we are on top of it, and other days, oh my goodness, I feel like I doubt everything that I'm doing, and I feel like today is one of those days. Not that I'm doubting homeschool. I really honestly have never doubted homeschool. I see so many benefits in it, but you know, I don't know. I guess I have to look at it as, I'm sure that you know, teachers in school probably also have days where they're like, wow, like I feel like we've accomplished nothing today. And then they have other days where they feel like they've accomplished a lot. So I suppose it's normal. But as a mom, because we're not just educating our kids, like we're not just their teachers, we're also their mother, you get the mom guilt, right? So I feel like, oh, I hope I'm doing enough. I hope that my kids will grow up to be, you know, intelligent and have everything they need to know. But at the same time, I also know rationally that in these younger years, you know, what is so important is relationship building, confidence building, and teaching the children to actually enjoy learning. Because as they get older, if they enjoy learning and they have the skills necessary to do so, if they can, you know, read and write and all those things, I know they can learn anything they want. Hey, buddy. But sometimes as a homeschool mom, we just deal with some of those doubts and stuff like that. So today's one of those days for me. But are you happy? You having a good day? Did you give her the sheep?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rebecca's it's still technically mine, but I'm letting her use it for a couple months.
That's nice. For a couple months. Oh, that's nice. Very nice. The sun is shining today. It's cold. It's very cold, but the sun is shining. Anyway, about 2 more minutes and then it's time for math. Okay.
Okay.
Anyway, I don't know. I guess I'm just having kind of a emotional day where I just hope I'm doing a good job. That's all. I think that at the end of the day, probably their success is going to have very little to do with, you know, how many times I had them practice their letters. But, you know, it's just when you're in it, sometimes I feel like, you know, I really am responsible for all of their successes in life when that's not true. As their mom, as their homeschool mom, I can give them the basics, I can give them their foundation. And then as they get older, I know that that will develop and they will take off into whichever areas of interest that they have. But we're not there yet. I don't see the end result. I don't see the big picture. And so sometimes I can get into my own head with my own doubts and fears. And today is just one of those days. So I'm going to fight against that because I do know better. I'm just human and feeling it today. But anyway, I can hear them coming upstairs. We're going to do math and then language arts. So here we go. So everything I just said about being worried I wasn't doing enough and that my kids won't learn enough or be successful, well, I think God was just with me in the moments that followed that, because after I turned off the camera and we resumed our school morning, we did language arts and math. And Bennett, we just started a new language arts curriculum with Bennett today. And so for the first time, he was doing some of these activities in the curriculum, and one of them is this little game. It's like an app on my phone. And he was playing and he had to, you know, like different sight words come up and he has to click the right one, or he has to listen to somebody say a word and then he has to click which one that was said. And he, I don't even know, he got them like all right, and I didn't teach him that. So, you know, I think that we just need to chill as homeschool moms a little bit, because they will learn things when they're ready. And we've done phonics work, we've done basics of the sounds, and I was shocked. He just got them all. And Rebecca did beautiful cursive writing and got 95% on her math lesson for today. So, you know, we get in our own heads sometimes, but you gotta trust the process. And I learned that when I was in hair school. You gotta just trust the process and know that if you just go about things the way that you know is right, it's all gonna work out in the end. And as homeschool moms, we know our kids, we know their weaknesses, we know their strengths. We just have to trust that God is going to equip us with everything we need to know for our kids. We don't need to know what's right for everybody else's kids, but God will equip us to know what's right for our kids. And I would say he definitely showed that to me today. Okay, Bennett wants to show me something. Okay, what is it you want to show me?
Just something.
Okay. What is it you want to show me? You made your bed and you lined up all your stuffies. Wow, you did a really good job with your bed, sweetheart. Good job. That's wonderful. You've become... Yeah, you kind of cleared off your rug a little bit. What a good job. I am impressed. I didn't even ask you to do that. You came in here and did it all by yourself. That's awesome. High five. Careful. Wonderful job. Okay, you go play with Rebecca. I'm going to make lunch. While I'm making lunch, I just wanted to take a second and thank you so much for being here. It really does mean a lot that you would spend some time with us today. Click subscribe if you haven't already. I am always putting out content that has to do with homemaking and homeschooling and homesteading, all of those things. Plus, depending on what time of year it is, you're going to see some decor videos and just kind of whatever else we're up to. My goal here is to just show you the joy of homemaking and serving your family as a stay-at-home mom. And I just want to bless you with all of my videos. So again, thank you for being here. And if you do like what you're seeing, stick around for more. All right, so I just had my lunch and I'm sitting here in the sunroom enjoying the beautiful weather. Well, I shouldn't say that, it's cold outside, but it's nice in the sunroom. And I'm watching John. He is outside trying to deal with our swing set. I shared in our life update video how we had a windstorm a couple weeks ago and it picked our swing set up out of the ground, moved it, like blew it across the lawn, and then it landed on the grass and broke. So we're expected to get more high winds tomorrow. And we just haven't had time. John has not had the time to get out there and deal with this yet. We've had so much else going on. Anyway, he's out there today. He's working today, but he's on his lunch right now. And he's just outside trying to dismantle this as much as he can because we're supposed to get really high winds tomorrow. And we don't want any of the loose pieces to fly around and hit the house. So I'm going to show you what he's dealing with. I feel kind of bad for him because it's not easy. All right, I'm filming through the window here, so the quality's not great, but this is the swing set. It was over there. The wind picked it up and it put it right there. So it's a bummer. I mean, it might be salvageable. Like you can see parts of it are still intact, but the part that the swing was on apparently completely broke and the slide broke off and some of the wood is snapped. So he might be able to repair, like just get some new wood and repair some of the parts. But I mean, he won't do that till spring. He just needs to get it off of the lawn so nothing blows and hits the house if the winds are in fact what they forecasted for tomorrow. So he's a smart guy. He's really handy. He'll figure this out, but I feel kind of bad for him. Not a very fun job. I'm on my way to the grocery store right now. And John was successful. He was able to get the swing set dealt with. A part of it, the main structure of it seemed okay. So he just strapped that to a tree and the rest of it he took apart and just stored it under our deck for now. So he thinks he's going to be able to salvage it. He may just need to get a few new boards and kind of rebuild some of it himself, but he can do that. So I'm really glad because that swing set was such a blessing from one of my really good friends who I actually just got to know within the last year since we moved. But I feel like I've known her my whole life. She is totally a kindred spirit for me. So her and her husband gifted that to us because they got a new swing set for their kids. And this is the exact same swing set that we had to leave behind at our old house when we moved. So the kids were so happy. It was such a blessing, and I'd hate to see it broken, but I don't think it's broken. I think it'll be okay. Anyway, so the kids are home with John right now, and I'm just running to the store. I only need to get a couple of things, just in light of the storm tomorrow. There's just a few things I want to have on hand, and I'll head back home. I do need to stop at the feed store to get some more straw for the chickens and the bunnies. So I'll do that, and then I need to freshen up the bedding in the chicken coop this afternoon as well. It's a sunny day, so it's a good day for it. But there's another update that I have not shared with you yet, and it's not a very good one. And I hate to sound like, I'm hesitant to sound negative. I don't want to sound like a Debbie Downer or anything. But one thing that I told myself when I started this channel is that I was going to be very transparent and very honest and real. I'm not here to try to portray this perfect life because that doesn't exist. I mean, yes, I'm very blessed and I count my blessings every day, but nothing's perfect. Nobody's life is perfect. Anyway, we found out last week that we're going to have to put our older dog, Xena, we're going to have to put her down. I'm just pulling into a parking spot here. she's 13 and a half, and she has this growth on her back, and we discovered on Friday, we took her to the vet, that it is a tumor and it's malignant. So it's really only a matter of time. She's still eating and drinking, but she's not doing great in other ways. And yeah, it's hard. I feel like I've somewhat come to terms with it, but it's actually kind of harder for John. It seems to be harder for him. I think when the day comes, I'm going to be an absolute mess. But right now, I almost feel like it's not even real. Anyway, it is. So we're going to have to put her down very soon, I think. Well, we're going to have to put her down, and I think it will be very soon. We don't want her to get to the point where she's suffering. That's not what we want for her. But we also don't want to do it too early. It's really hard. It's a really hard decision. Anyway, so that's going on too, as well as the other things. Thankfully, we did get our plumbing issue dealt with. It was a lot more money than we were expecting, but we got it done. So the plumbing is fixed, and now we'll just deal with the rest. Anyway, I'm here at, there's a little market and bakery that is really close to our house that I always come to get certain things before I go to the grocery store because they have way better prices. So I'm here for those couple of things, and then I will head over to the grocery store and the feed store and then home. This is always the hard spot for me because I'm a coffee snob and I like dark coffee. So I often will get that kind, but this is on sale, and I've worked out the math, and it's cheaper to get 2 of these than to get 1 of those. So I'm going to go with that. Because yeah, I can't do light roast or medium roast. I'm a dark roast, drink it black kind of girl. We had this one chicken that's, I don't know what's wrong with her. She's got like a birth defect or something. And so her legs are really weak and she falls over all the time. But she just fell over in the coop. I had to like pull her out. Then she stood up. She was okay. So we do, with our chickens, we do a deep bedding method, which if any of you guys are into the homesteading world, you probably know who Justin Rhodes and Joel Salatin are. I learned that from them. And basically what it is throughout the winter, instead of scraping out their entire coop, I just keep adding fresh bedding all the time on top of what's there. That helps to break down all the poop, and that actually, because it starts to compost, it actually keeps heat inside the coop for the winter months. If I were to be scraping it out empty and putting in fresh bedding every week or so, it wouldn't be as warm in there. So I do that through the winter, and honestly, it's so easy. But you just got to keep up on it. You got to keep the fresh bedding on there, and they scratch it and they move it around. So I do that for them in the winter. In the summer, I clean it more regularly. Let's see if I can find, her name is Lucy. Where'd she go? Lucy. Look, they're all in here scratching. They're enjoying their fresh bedding. You guys liking it in there, aren't you? Where'd Lucy go? Lucy! Where'd she go? I don't even see her. Oh, here she is. She's out here with her mama. That's Ruby. She's the one who hatched her out for us. But this is Lucy, the speckled one. I know. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. It's okay. This is Lucy. Here, this is her. She's a pretty sweet little chicken, but there's something wrong with her legs, and I don't know what it is. You're a good girl, aren't you? Yeah. There she is. She's a beautiful bird, but there's just something wrong with her legs. In you go. I got chicken poop on my hand. Oh well, it's all part of it. We wash our hands really good after being out here with the chickens. You guys liking your new fresh home in there? You're already pooping in it, I can see. It's amazing how when you own animals like this, poop becomes not that big of a deal. I mean, obviously, you got to be hygienic, and we wash our hands really good. But, you know, that at one point in my life, that would have grossed me right out, whereas now, I'm not going to say I like it, but they give us eggs, so it's well worth it. All right, well, that chore is done. Rebecca will come out and she'll put fresh straw in her bunny's hutch as well tonight before the storm tomorrow. And now I'm going to go in and wash up and then start making supper. All right, so for supper, I'm making something that my grandmother used to make all the time, and my mom made it for us growing up, and it's called 7-layer dinner, except that my uncle, when he was little, he couldn't pronounce 7-layer dinner. He could only say Sin Lin Din. So that's what we call it now in the family, is we all call it Sin Lin Din. So I just went downstairs to the basement to grab some potatoes, because I still have about 2 boxes of potatoes downstairs from my garden in the summer, and they're doing so good. I keep the dirt right on them, and they're great. This one's shaped a little funny, but yeah, so I just go down and they're still nice and firm. I grab what I need, so I'm going to wash those off, and I will show you what goes into that dish in just a minute. So the potatoes are all washed. I'll show you. Got them nice and washed and clean. I didn't scrub them too hard because I'm going to peel them anyway. So I wasn't too worried about that. And then these are my carrots from my garden. I actually made a video, must have been back in September, I guess, when I harvested these, of how I store them for long term. And so that would have been, let me think. So yeah, that was in September. So September, October, November, December, January. That's like 5 months ago. And these are still crisp and firm and juicy. Like, they're really good carrots. So I'll link that in the description if you want to check that out. And it works really well. It's been working good for me. They're still doing really, really good. So I'm going to chop these up, peel and chop the potatoes, and then I will show you the rest of what goes in this dish. All right, so I've peeled and chopped the potatoes, as you can see. You just lay them out in a pretty flat layer on the bottom. So being called 7-layer dinner, the 7 layers are potatoes, carrots, onions, rice, corn, sausages, and tomato sauce. You could put other meat on the top. I like to do the little mini breakfast sausages. Really, really, really good. 375 degrees, bake it in the oven for about an hour and a half. It's a family favorite. My grandmother made it all the time. She had a lot of kids, so this was an easy way for her to feed them. And it's nutritious, it's filling, it's really good. So these carrots are the carrots that we grew in the garden. And again, I can link the video that I made explaining how I prepared them and stored them for long-term storage. They've been in the fridge now for 5 months and they're still perfect. They're crisp, they are not squishy. They're just great. They're as if I just harvested them, honestly. So I will link that video for you. I'm just gonna chop this up, chop up all the carrots, lay them on, and get this all ready for the oven. It is such a comforting meal. It kind of reminds me of my childhood. Potatoes, carrots, onions, rice, corn, breakfast sausages, and tomato sauce. And that's it. The only thing I didn't show is after the corn layer, I drizzle about 2 to 3 cans. So I take, like, the can that I used, I take that and I fill it with water. 2 to 3 of these, I drizzle water over it. That just helps the rice to cook. I use whole grain rice, and because of that, it takes a little bit longer to cook, which is why I do this. So I drizzle a little bit of water over top once the corn is on, and that just helps everything to cook a little bit faster. So yeah, I'll cover it and I'll put it in the oven for about an hour to an hour and a half, and it'll be done. And now the cleanup. I'm actually never this messy in the kitchen when I cook, but I was listening to an audiobook while I was doing this, and I guess I just got lost in the story. So I'm gonna clean this up and wait for supper to cook. All right, well, that is all for me today. Thank you so much for spending the day with us. It's been another full day and I got a lot done, so it feels good. I do know I've been getting messages about Bennett, and I am so thankful to everybody that is praying for him. I know he looks fine on the outside, and I've had people say to me, oh, well, he looks fine. And he is fine in the sense that he's not sick. He's not, stuck in bed or anything like that. But there is an issue going on that isn't visible when you look at him. And we are doing a protocol from the doctor for a 7-week period for him and hoping that it works. If it doesn't work, he is going to have surgery. So continue to pray and just pray that what we're doing is effective and that he won't need surgery in the end. I know that God's hand is on all of this. It always is. And I know that in my faith. But at the same time, it's just nice to know that people are out there praying. So keep him in prayer, and I would be so appreciative of that. Anyway, I want to say thank you one more time for being here. I really do appreciate it. If you haven't already, click subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks. Bye.